Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode we shoot a tree in Florida. Right now I'm in Tarpon Lake in Florida, and it's a place where there is gators, snakes, very dangerous, but I'm very excited. It's beautiful out here. There's no clouds today, which is very sad for me, but I want to talk to you about how to frame your photo and how to shoot landscape in this type of conditions. For example, behind me you see there is a very nice tree, and I'm trying to find a good composition and a good technique to take this tree. I waited a few hours for the sun to come down so that we have long shadows, and now I'm gonna basically move around the tree, and I've been moving around the tree. I'll show you all the different photos to get the right perspective. And what I find is that, you see, one of the hardest things we have in photography is the message. You know, there's so much stuff going on here. You know, how can we communicate something? And for the sake of this exercise, I put on just a 35mm lens on a full frame sensor on the Sony A7R. I'm using a very old 35mm, which I'm testing right now. And I'm trying to get the right shot. So I'm going to show you some of the shots that I got. I think, for example, where I'm standing here, I tried to frame it in portraits, but it didn't work because you know, there was no third dimension in the framing, because the branch that's going into the lake, you cannot see them well if you frame it like this. But if you frame into portraits, you will see we get a much nicer photo. Also, we have a lot of sunspots. So what I do is I bracket -3, normal, +3, so that I'm sure I'm going to get the details everywhere, and I can do whatever I want in Lightroom or Photoshop later on. So I was showing you this tree in this John Chestnut Park, next to Tarpon Lake in Tarpon Springs, Florida. And I think that shooting a tree is sometimes difficult because you come next to a tree and you look at it and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And you know, you want to shoot it and it looks boring. So let me show you some compositing tricks. So that's one of the first photo I shot, you know, pretty wide, you know, portrait mode. But I didn't like because I had this tree in the middle, this one. Then I like this one. This I liked. But I wanted to get, you see this branch which is going in the water, and I love the reflection that there's in the water. So I think this composition, if they could be together, could be interesting. Like this one and this one. Yeah. Then I tried to, you know, I moved around the tree, but I was a bit dark here, a bit backlighted. It was kind of cool, but I don't know, you know, the eyes goes to the brightest part of the photo, so the eyes would really go to the background and not so much to the foreground. So that's another try. I'm moving around the tree. This is like a portrait of it, moving again around, trying to find something that's going to be nice. You know, moving back. I was shooting 35mm, so moving back again. Then I started doing HDR because I thought, you know, well, there might be like a huge dynamic range. So I was bracketing 3 shots. Again, you know, this time I was getting like less ground and more of the branches there, but I was still not happy with it, you know. And that's again a portrait, so just trying to move around it. So I moved again here. I like this idea, but somehow the branch was like too flat for me. So then I tried this again. Okay, try this. I really wanted to get this branch that goes into the water. I thought that was really cool. You know, tried again this, and I just moved around all over the tree, trying to get the right feeling, you know, of the photo. And finally, I think the one I actually picked up was these 2 photos, because I think that they are the one that gives the best perspective of the tree. So I had the choice between this one and this one, and this one, and this one. They're pretty similar, except that on this one, on the second one, I went a bit too low. So, you know, okay, so I'm going to try to play around with this one and see if we can get some nice photo. So first I'm going to retouch the first one. I'm going to open up the shadows and bring on the highlights. And then I'm going to do my white point. Okay, if you follow my tutorials, you know what I'm talking about. And my black point, you know. I'm using the Alt key to find a black point and a white point. That's already pretty cool, but now the white balance I don't really like. So I'm going to try to go on shade. Shade I like because shade gives like a good feeling to the place. It's, you know, it was dark and it was sunset, but I'm just going to add a bit more magenta. That's my formula. I always, you know, put on shade and just add a bit of magenta. Then I'm going to put some clarity and maybe some vibrance to make it pop. Maybe lower a little bit the overall photo. And something like that. I like the retouch. You know, that's really the feeling that I had when I was there. Okay, next I'm going to select, I'm actually going to use unbounded profiles correction, remove chromatic aberration. Okay, and then I'm going to select the second one, press sync, check all, and just sync that. Now I was shooting at ISO 100, so I don't want to get rid of the noise. Maybe I actually will add a bit of, maybe I'm going to add a little bit of sharpening. So let me go to details and I'm going to do like something like 92 sharpening. Yeah, something like that. I like when it's very sharp. So let me think again that I did the sharpening. Okay, so now both photos is retouched exactly the same way. So all I got to do now is right click, edit, merge to panorama in Photoshop. So here I am in Photoshop. The two files are already open. I just click on OK. And let's wait that Photoshop does its magic. All right, so here we are. Photoshop did its best to merge both photos. So now what I'm going to do is go to Layers, Merge Layers, so they are both on the same layer. Then I'm going to press Command J to duplicate the layer, and I'm going to make this one invisible, the bottom one. Then I'm going to press Command T for the free transform tool, and I'm going to press on the Command key on the Mac and Control on Windows, and just move that handle and maybe this handle. I'm just moving them individually so that I've got to, maybe, you know what, I'm going to rotate the whole thing. I want to get that branch to be, you know, I'm cheating maybe a little bit. I just want to get that branch higher up. I think that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get this lower down a little bit. Now that's pretty cool. Yeah, something like this. Then I press enter. Okay, now that's a big file because I shot this with a Sony A7R. So each photo is 36 million pixels. So it's going to be a very, very, very large photo. You can make a huge print out of it. Okay, then I'm going to take the crop tool and crop it. Crop it just at the limit here. Something like this, and crop it there also. Maybe here a little bit. Yeah, not so much. And yeah, just to the limit there. And press enter. Okay, so I crop this, and now I need to get rid of, there is a bit of transparency. I mean, there is some pixels missing. Let's see if we can do something about that. It doesn't always work, so I'm going to go to the quick select tool. No, sorry, I'm going to go to the magic wand tool. Make sure contiguous is on. Click that to select this part here. Then I'm going to go to filter. Sorry, to select, modify, expand. I'm going to expand this about 20 pixels. Just going to make a selection which is a bit bigger. Then I'm going to go to edit, fill, and content aware. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Actually, the first time I edited this, I didn't do it. It's going to be hard because it's very random. So I'm not sure it's going to do a great job, but I think it does a pretty good job. You know, yeah, it did a great job. Unbelievable. I love this content aware stuff. So now we get a good, you know, a good look at it. And I'm just going to press File. I just want to show you something. The image size is 11, almost 12,000 pixels long. Imagine that. 12,000 pixels. That's a lot of pixels. You know, you can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in a lot on this one. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty sharp on the tree. It's a bit blurry in the back, but it's fine. That's what I want. I wanted the tree to be sharp. I love the composition. I think I nailed it. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to close, File, close, and save. And I'm going to wait, and let's get it back in Lightroom. Okay, so now it's back in Lightroom, and I'm ready to do what I call the double processing. We processed it once, and we're going to do it again. But I'm not going to do much on this. I'm just going to lower the exposure to make it more dramatic, because it was really getting dark, you know. And I'm just going to, just lower a bit the exposure. I'm going to add maybe a bit more clarity, just slightly, and a bit more vibrance. And I'm just going to open up a bit the shadows. Yeah, I think I lowered the... And yeah, I want to do some additional things like I want to close the photo. So I'm going to go to the gradient filter and maybe darken the top part here. So I'm just darkening the top part, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So just, you know, attention is on the tree itself. And to give a bit of magic, I'm going to make some, you know, there was a lot of sun rays that night, but I think some of them disappeared off the photo. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to boost the exposure, add some yellows, add some red because it's going to be warm. Make sure that your brush is around, hold on, let's make that your brush is around, yeah, the flow and density is around 60. Okay, and now let's make some nice rays here. Okay, you know, because that's really how it was. There was like some really nice sun rays, and I just want to get them back in the photo. You know what? Maybe just make them even stronger, add even more yellow, even more reds to it. You know, you can just go over that just to complexify the light and try to get back the feeling that I had when I watched this. Check it out. Before the sun rays, after the sun rays, you know, they kind of look fake when you look at it like this, but believe me, if you show this to someone who didn't see me doing the rays, they will not see it. They will not be, oh, somebody brushed there. They will not, because I put the brush around 60. You can actually test it, you know. You know what, maybe I'm just going to lower it a little bit. And usually at this point, what I do is you know, it's just like a good pancake. You know, when you make the preparation for a pancake, you let it rest a little bit. So, you know, just take a walk for 15 minutes, look at other things and come back to it and see if you want to add a bit more saturation to it, maybe a little bit, you know how like maybe a bit of contrast, make it even more dramatic. But yeah, I love the composition. I love the colors. And it's a cool photo, and it's a big photo that you can make a big print out of it. So anyways, I'm giving you the raw files for free so you can see for yourself and try to reproduce the same result. Hope you like this tutorial about composition. I think it was more about composition than about post-processing. And I want to do more of this sort of live, you know, show. Thank you very much for being there, and let's get back to me. Okay guys, I hope you like this tutorial. Thank you very much for being there every week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Au revoir.